Hi everybody, have a wonderful day. In this video talk about Apple Pencil USB-C. Subscribe our channel for future updates. I had serious doubts about the Apple Pencil USB-C, especially considering it lacked pressure sensitivity. Then it became my favorite Apple Pencil. Like many other tech enthusiasts and reporters who noticed that the Apple Pencil USB-C lacked pressure sensitivity, I thought it would doom the stylus. Surely a feature such as that would make the Apple Pencil USB-C pale in comparison to both the first and second generation Apple Pencils, which include pressure sensitivity. In fact, I was so certain of this that I wrote an entire editorial about it. But I'll admit when I'm wrong, and boy was I wrong. Within minutes of starting to use the Apple Pencil USB-C, I discovered that a stylus without pressure sensitivity is actually quite good for some use cases. Make no mistake, if you're a graphic designer or artist, having pressure sensitivity on the Apple Pencil is an absolute must. But for everyone else, having a consistent and uniform stroke with a great stylus can be excellent for writing or note-taking. Since the Apple Pencil slots into the lineup as the cheapest option, as low as $69 for students and educators, it all starts to make sense. The Apple Pencil USB-C isn't for everyone, and it comes with a few minor annoyances that some people will find hard to live with. However, it ends up being a surprisingly solid option for people who just want a simple and reliable way to write on the great iPads. Apple Pencil USB-C. Great entry-level stylus. The Apple Pencil to buy for note-taking. 9/10. Apple's latest Apple Pencil features USB-C connectivity and an entry-level price point. This makes it ideal for students, casual users, and note-takers. But even though it lacks some great features, the Apple Pencil USB-C is still a fantastic option for most people. Brand Apple. Compatibility L iPads with USB-C port. Connectivity USB-C. Color white. Pros. Feels great in the hand. Connection is quick and easy. Magnetically attaches to iPads with USB-C connector. Cons. USB-C cable needed for charging and pairing. Charging is a lot slower than I expected. No pressure sensitivity will rule out this pencil for artists. Apple Pencil USB-C pricing and availability. Apple quietly launched the Apple Pencil USB-C via a press release in October. It became available for purchase on November 1st at Apple, Best Buy, Amazon, and other third-party retailers. Apple Pencil USB-C retails for $79, but students and educators can save $10, bringing the price down to $69 for those buyers. It's only available in white, and there aren't any configuration options available. Apple says that this pencil works only with iPads that have a USB-C port, which include the latest iPad, iPad mini, iPad Air, and iPad Pro. If you have an older iPad, check to make sure it has USB-C before buying this pencil. The Apple Pencil USB-C slots into Apple's lineup as the cheapest Apple Pencil, with the first generation Apple Pencil at $99 and the second generation Apple Pencil at $129. Design. Just like Apple Pencil 2, but a little bit shorter. The Apple Pencil USB-C looks so similar to the design of the second generation Apple Pencil that you might mistake it from afar. When you start to get close, the differences become more apparent. The first indication that you're holding an Apple Pencil USB-C is due to the subtle line that separates the cap from the body of the pencil. It's not quite like the first generation Apple Pencil though, since the cap doesn't completely detach. Instead, it slides up and down in a very satisfying motion. There's just enough resistance when pushing the cap out and a nice click when pushing it back in. It's amazing, or terrible, for people who have a habit of fidgeting. The cap is the main difference from the second generation Apple Pencil, but surprisingly, the pencil's length is also different. The Apple Pencil USB-C measures 6.1 inches, while the second generation Apple Pencil is 6.53 inches long. For the most part, I'd say the difference is negligible. However, it's true that the Apple Pencil USB-C is slightly easier to wield when using it away from a table than past pencils. It's also worth noting that the Apple Pencil USB-C is superb for use with the latest iPad mini. The second generation Apple Pencil nearly matches the length of the iPad mini when magnetically attached, but the USB-C version fits much better. Otherwise, the design of Apple Pencil USB-C is very similar to that of the second generation Apple Pencil. It'll be completely rounded except for one side, which allows the pencil to lay flat on a table or attached to your iPad. There are also user-replaceable tips, sold separately, that can be swapped when they inevitably start to get dull. Connectivity. Pairing isn't the problem, charging is. Apple has kind of earned a reputation for its hilarious charging methods. The first Apple Pencil charged by literally sticking into an iPad, creating an awkward look. We also can't forget the infamous Magic Mouse, which you need to flip over to charge. While the Apple Pencil, USB-C, doesn't have a charging method as bad as these examples, it isn't great. You'll need to use a USB-C cable to plug your Apple Pencil into your iPad for pairing, and that should be a one-time endeavor. Then, any old USB-C power source should work fine to charge your pencil, with automatic wireless pairing back to your iPad. Apple did fix this problem on the second generation Apple Pencil by having it charge wirelessly when connected to the side of your iPad. However, there are a few reasons Apple can't use this method on the USB-C version. The obvious one is that wireless charging adds extra cost, and the Apple Pencil, USB-C, is a budget-oriented device. But the more subtle one is that the 10th generation iPad has a landscape camera, and this sensor lies right where the wireless charger would be on other iPads. Apple made the choice that a landscape camera was more valuable than a stylus with wireless charging, and thus Apple Pencil, USB-C, exists. So, how much does this matter? Well, it depends. Pairing isn't much of a problem, since it should be a one-time deal. It is worth noting that if for some reason, you have two pencils, you'll have to pair with a cable each time you switch. However, the bigger issue is that the Apple Pencil, USB-C, all but forces you to carry a USB-C cable with you all the time. It's true that you likely already carry a USB-C cable with you for a phone, tablet, or something else. But since the iPad is supposed to be a portable device, it would be nice to be able to just take the iPad and Apple Pencil out and about without needing a cable. To be clear, you don't need to carry a cable in theory. In my time daily driving the Apple Pencil 2, though, I did occasionally run into situations where the pencil didn't automatically pair or suffered phantom battery drain. I didn't experience this with the Apple Pencil, USB-C, during the review period, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. I've used the second generation Apple Pencil for about 4 years, and the Apple Pencil, USB-C, for 1 week. If any of those long-term issues come about when you aren't carrying a USB-C cable, you could be in for a lot of frustration. The Apple Pencil, USB-C, does attach to iPads with magnets, it just doesn't charge wirelessly. This is definitely nice to see, as it helps avoid your pencil getting lost. About charging, I was a bit disappointed by the charging speeds of the Apple Pencil, USB-C. If the whole thing charged in a few minutes, I could look past the wired charging method. It doesn't seem like too much to ask either, since a lot of products offer quick charges. My Apple Pencil charged about 30% in 6 minutes, jumping from 55% to 85%. It took another 11 minutes to get up to 97%, which likely means that it was trickle charging. That doesn't make much sense to me, since every minute you have a USB-C cable connected between your iPad and your Apple Pencil is another annoyance. Quick charging should have been a priority here, and it isn't. The good news is that Apple Pencils stay charged for a long time. Writing and drawing. Not having pressure sensitivity is a good thing. Apple made headlines when it decided to ditch pressure sensitivity on the Apple Pencil, USB-C. As it turns out, I liked using the Apple Pencil without pressure sensitivity better than using an Apple Pencil with it. I have thousands of hours of digital note-taking using an iPad and an Apple Pencil under my belt thanks to my college years, and the bulk of it was using a second-generation Apple Pencil too. When note-taking, pressure sensitivity isn't always a good thing. Trying to write fast to keep up with meetings or lectures requires pressing hard, and you don't always mean to create deeper strokes with the extra force. So, I found the consistency of the Apple Pencil, USB-C, to be its best feature. No matter how hard you press the Apple Pencil, USB-C, you're going to get a crisp and uniform stroke. I think this makes it ideal for people who are using an Apple Pencil for general writing or note-taking. Pressure sensitivity isn't necessary for this application. Depending on your preference, pressure sensitivity might actually make it worse. If you're curious to see what this looks like in practice, check out the pressure test I did in the photo below. Now, if you're an artist or graphic designer, the entire equation changes. Pressure sensitivity is crucial in getting the right output, and it resembles a physical pencil in a way that's hard to replicate. For specialized work in any kind of art or graphical application, get the Apple Pencil 1 or 2 instead. However, I think the number of people who actually use their Apple Pencil for this kind of thing is massively overestimated. The main use case for the Apple Pencil is likely as a stylus, for UI navigation, note-taking, and general writing. For that, the Apple Pencil, USB-C, is serviceable at worst and downright excellent at best. I happen to have both the second-generation Apple Pencil and the Apple Pencil, USB-C, and I can safely say I'll be using the latter for my note-taking and writing. Should you buy the Apple Pencil, USB-C? You should buy the Apple Pencil, USB-C, if you want a budget stylus for your USB-C iPad. You don't need pressure sensitivity. You primarily use your iPad for note-taking or handwriting. You should not buy the Apple Pencil, USB-C, if you value premium features, like pressure sensitivity and a capacitive touch sensor. You primarily use your iPad for drawing. You want an Apple Pencil with wireless charging, and have a compatible iPad. Apple clearly considers the Apple Pencil, USB-C, to be a budget device. To that end, the official tagline is, "the most affordable Apple Pencil." I wound up being pleasantly surprised by the Apple Pencil, USB-C, and found it to be much more than that. It's a great stylus and the lack of pressure sensitivity can actually be a perk for some users. Plus, the price cannot be beat, especially for students and educators. Apple Pencil, USB-C. Great affordable stylus. The latest Apple Pencil is a USB-C version that serves as a budget option in the lineup. Surprisingly, it isn't a replacement for either the Apple Pencil 1 or Apple Pencil 2. Since it lacks a few features compared to the premium models, it's ideal for casual users and those on a budget. What you think about Apple Pencil? Comment your opinion. Hi everyone.